to be so in love.
No.
Welcome back, everyone. Welcome back to Chaotic Vibes. This is our podcast. We are already at episode 12.
Yeah.
Today we are going to discuss underrated things in K-pop, songs, groups, members,
Anything
albums.
under the K-pop sun.
Yes, that we think is under the radar
Yes.
Yeah.
and needs more recognition. I have a very long list.
I have a list too, but like I don't think mine's long.
Mhm.
I have a list too.
Only two things are coming to mind for me.
Should I start though?
Sure.
Yes.
I should probably just name everything on my list and then name my bumps at all. I will explain everything. Okay, so in the beginning,
There was God and there was
for BTS, I genuinely believe that in the early days though, I don't believe that Jin was a very appreciated member.
agreed.
So it was like BTS, and you would know like Sugar, and at the time Rock Monster and V, and then it would be J Hope at the end, and then Jin.
Yeah.
You know, I think too like today even he is like one of the. If it like you have to rank the members, Jin is at the bottom, and I don't
feel like
think,
his solo career is like
Wait.
underrated.
When you say
Amount of
rank,
stands.
do you want to?
I don't
Do
mean
you want to
like
specify? Do you mean
Yes.
stans? Do you mean?
I just mean like in general, like in terms of stance, his solo career, like
Opportunity.
recognition,
Yeah.
everything.
Okay.
Like even when we were speaking about before we started filming, you know, we were having our side discussion of brand ambassadors. Like Jin is
The only one
So-
without a clothing.
even
brand
today, like
ambassadorship, yeah.
Jin is known as, while the other BTS members have like individuality
Yeah.
for themselves, a name for themselves. Jin is still mostly known as Jin of BTS. I think that's kind of like I wouldn't say I don't want to say it's sad, and I don't want to make it seem pitiful, you know, because BTS has a large fandom, but like Jin is really the like underappreciated member.
I could see
within the
that.
group.
I could see that.
Yeah.
But at the same time, I could also see that he has the personality that doesn't seem to be too interested in doing all the extra stuff.
Yeah, like also all the
you know?
members, he is the most like he kind of
Yeah.
is the most reserved, because even when he's doing his own like promotion things, like, you know, video games or something like
Yeah.
that, he don't pander to the like delusional fans and stuff
Yeah.
like that. You know, like he's very much about, I come in to do my EJ, or I'm just coming to be here and for you all to watch me play video games.
Yeah.
That's all they coming to do. Don't
Yeah.
tell me, you know, don't think
Also-
I'm going to like.
Yeah.
He will interact with us, you know, like not saying that he doesn't care about his fans, but he's not one of them like come to me and you can tell me
He's-
anything out of pocket. Like,
yeah,
no,
he likes to
yeah.
separate his private life from his public life, which is totally fine. I also think another thing that contributes to that is I feel like although he may be the oldest, he's probably taken the longest to find who he is outside
Individual,
of
like, yeah.
BTS.
I could see that.
You know, so I feel like he's still taking his time to do that, even with enlisting first. That also pushes back his time to like really reflect and find who he is
Or it
and
could
what
just be
he's
to that-
about.
Or it could just be to that, like, Jin is quite content
Him
in
just being
known
Jin of
as
BTS.
Yeah,
BTS.
exactly.
And
he's
that's
quite
absolutely
content.
fine
That's
as
And
well.
that's
as well.
absolutely fine. Just that, and I don't believe that anything is wrong with it. Me saying this isn't that I think anything is wrong with it, but like with how big of a group BTS is, I really just feel that Jin is like really underappreciated.
Yeah.
I
By
would
the
put this-
fandom a lot
by the
too.
fandom.
Yeah.
too. I would put this my members thing in a group, and then I'll pass it on to Chris, and then well, you'll bongso. On the other spectrum though, I for that I let's pronounce it.
Ive?
Right.
Yeah.
Ive is, and the girl name is Woo Young.
Right. Young.
One Young. So in Ive now, on the other hand, is very much the opposite of what Jin right now is Ive, which is One Young and Friends, which is the other members of the group.
I feel they're slowly
Now
getting out
they're
of that.
slowly
you know.
getting out of it, but still, yeah, I believe that a lot of, and even if they're kind of getting out of it now, it's just like One Young, and then one or two other members. Like there's still other members within that group who are still seen as friends. You know, like backup. I'm not saying backup dancers because they have lines and stuff like that, but they're still very much basically backup dancers to these two or three popular members, with One Young still being the most popular member in the group. And then on the other spectrum too, like in the earlier days, not now, definitely not now, but in the earlier days, half of NCT was very much not getting any attention. It was like the main members. You knew Mark because Mark was in everything. You knew Tay.
I feel like a lot
And you
of
know
them are
Hye-chan.
still in that bubble too.
A lot of members from Wavy specifically are still in that
like
bubble.
Koon, he produces. He is a terrific singer, but yet he's so underrated. You also have people like Yuta. I love Yuta's voice, and he's still to me very underrated. Win as well.
Yeah,
like
definitely.
he is not even getting the opportunity to even try to do like anything music wise. So like obviously he's gonna stay in the underrated category. Who else? Tail. Oh my god, I could talk about Tail for years.
With that godlike voice.
You understand? Like, make it make sense. You can't have somebody so talented like Tail. He is literally the main vocal of NCT 127, but he's nowhere to be seen. I understand he was like injured and stuff. We understand that, you know. He's recently only now come back into like NCT stuff with like when they went to Lottie Wheel or whatever in their little content thing. But he's still like not officially back. So like I'm wondering where SM is even planned to do anything with him. He deserves a solo album.
And I think it's
He
the
could be
problem
really
with
good solo, like how
Yes.
Dio from EXO is solo.
Yes.
Yeah.
but I think the problem with it is that you know NCT as entity, and then you know like obviously not two or three, but then you know like two or three like individual members from NCT. I think the problem is that NCT is such a big group.
Yes.
And you know, like we were there in the beginning days because you know, with NCT Dream and stuff like that, so it was easier for us to like integrate into that. But I think it's scary for like people who now get into the fandom, or for like fans from 1 or 2 years ago, to like fully immerse themselves into NCT, to like actually know they will know the songs and stuff like that.
Yeah.
But to like know the members and stuff, because it's so much people,
and then some of them not as active as others, so how will they even get to know the ones that are less active?
You have members like Mark and Tay and stuff like that who in like
everything,
all the groups, all the subgroups of NCT, right? So it's like you're pushing more members than others, and sadly that is something that will happen when you have such a big group, because NCT at one point it had 23 members, and then that thing happened with Lucas, and now you have this new NCT group. I didn't even know the names of those new members. I just know that it's a new group, and I like some of their songs and stuff like that. But
no hate,
I
no
don't
hate
know the
Wish,
members,
but like
because it's just adding on, you know. And that
You know, there was a new subgroup.
They're Japanese, you know. They're like
okay.
like
You see?
teens. They're very young.
So
the name is NCT Wish.
yeah. So it just leads into members being like unappreciated or like unknown and stuff like that within their big group, and I find that's like very disheartening.
Let me check, because I know I had groups and albums. Members, I don't have any members listed. I mean, I do have members, but like right now,
At the top of your head,
off the top of my head, yeah.
one of my points could lead into something that both of you were speaking about
Mm.
prior to this, which is songs that are unappreciated or underappreciated, because something that I've seen within the general fandom, and it's not just in one group, but some B-sides, especially from popular groups, are very much underappreciated. Like you have like a lot of B-sides from EXO, like great songs
that nobody
people
knows.
don't know. From BTS, BTS could have like the biggest fandom ever, but like half of the fandom don't know
As you
some
say
of
that,
their
I
songs.
saw this TikTok the other day, like literally earlier on this week, and it was the finger down if you know this BTS song.
Exactly, that is.
And it was this guy. I think it was almost 20 songs, and he put on his he put on like 3 fingers, and I was at like 17.
Yeah.
Like-
even in 17 and got 7 and stuff like that. People these days mainly know, not even these days, like from since before also, like in the past, they
Even
know,
before-
they just know the title tracks.
Yeah.
So that has lead me to thinking like you all don't actually listen to the album, you all watch the comeback video or
Yeah.
MV and then just like roll with it, because it's not just it's in popular groups and like lesser groups, like unknown groups and stuff like that, you all don't know the B-sides of, like, you all can be that's so funny. That is actually so funny.
I can't understand how one of your faves could bring out an album and you haven't listened to the entire album.
I mean, I
You don't have to
fall
listen to the
victim to
entire
that
album, you know,
sometimes
but,
because life could get so hectic.
Mhm.
Like you don't have the time to sit down and listen to an album from beginning to end. I
But
completely
still, to
understand.
just
So
know the
I haven't
title
listened to
tracks.
so many Monsta X albums I have to get back to because I know I enjoy Monsta X albums. Like from when I was in school, I would always listen to a Monsta X album the day it drops, and I always enjoy it. I just know I have so many Monsta X albums to catch up on. Like I know I'm gonna enjoy it. I just need to catch up on them, but I don't have the
You
time.
know what I think could be a solution for that? You see, like when they had BTS Wings, I don't want to mention BTS so much in this video, yeah, but you see when they had the BTS Wings, how like each, not to say that you have to have like a music video for each song on the album, but like I think it's by high time that companies and managers and stuff like that start to promote B-sides too. Not just, I don't mean like to make a whole music video or something like that.
No, but like
Or
look at what TXT did with
exactly, just-
The Killer.
yeah,
It's
that's what I mean, like
real hype up the
performances or something like
performance,
that. So
even though there's no music video
you
for
could
it.
promote B-sides because now you
I feel
have
like a lot of groups do though. Like a lot of groups promote a B side alongside the title track on
a
music
singular
shows.
B-side.
Or like a lot of groups now are doing it. They would promote the
Well,
title song for 2 weeks and then do the B side for
Yeah.
2 weeks after
Yeah.
that.
And I think it should be like
Pushing the B
push
sides
it
more
like more
because
so. Because these are some amazing songs, and like if you work on an album, I'm thinking that there's a lot of hard work going into
Yeah.
this. Some of these idols to even say that a B-side track is like one of their favorite songs on the
Yeah.
album, and then they have it, they're speaking about it, and their
And
fans are like,
for
"What are
me,
you talking about?"
most of my favorites from my favorites are their B sides.
Yeah, same.
Yeah.
I would say you know of 80s. I feel like
That's exactly who I was thinking about,
Yeah.
honestly.
Yeah,
80s is everybody knows 80s potential as a group. Everybody has seen their performances, know they are great performers. But I feel like a lot of people tend to focus on the rappers Hongjoon and Mingi, or
San, for obvious
Songhwa is known as Mother. Jungwoo is known for his vocals, his high notes, right? We have Woosan, Wooyoung, and San known for their like duality. You know, Yasang, amazing performer and dancer, but like I feel like a lot of people like look over, you know, and I feel he puts in like 110% each performance.
And he's a
He
I feel
never
like he's a
slips.
very all-rounded
Yes,
member. Like
he
he's
could-
able to do it
He's
all.
a fantastic singer. Like, have you like heard his vocals in like songs like Turbulence or Fever or Take Me Home? Like, he is so good at what he does. And I find it very strange that he is underrated because he is technically within Korean beauty standards and he is very talented. So I'm confused where the gap is.
I think too this had to do with like screen time. Because you're talking about these members too, right? And I also like heavily stand 80s. But like when you were speaking about it, I'm going back in my brain, like he has like the least screen time out of like all like I just
Yeah.
hardly see him on screen.
And all of the music videos, and even when you watch like full performances, and they pan to when it's his turn for his line, he has 3 lines.
Yeah, so that's probably why too that why he not as recognized as he could be. Because like you're not seeing him as much as you should be seeing him.
Yeah, I'm very confused why he is not as popular as he should be. Because he really is talented. Like even that drama that they did where it was Jungwoo San, Wooyoung, not Wooyoung, Jungwoo San, Songhwa, and you know was in the drama, right? You should watch it. It's called what's the name of it
I
again?
should not watch it.
I
Sorry,
find
cut that
so-
out. Sorry.
What is it
Sorry, I
called?
did not mean that.
What's the name of it again?
I don't know because it's so terrible. I erased it from my
I
memory.
liked it. They were in a drama about being idols, basically, and like Jogo was in the
I know
popular
that.
group,
That was
and
sorry, cut
and
that out too.
San Songhwa and was in the Nugu group. It was real interesting. But yeah, he did a really good job. Personal opinion, Christine.
Okay.
But did a really good
The
job
idol
at acting.
content of the drama was interesting.
Yeah, like did a really good job acting because he was second male lead.
Mhm.
I love how you tried to put out.
But yeah, he did.
Content was,
He did so well. So I don't know. I feel like he's missing out on the praises that he should be getting. Yeah.
One more member who I think is was underappreciated until recently is Huninkai.
I
From
agree.
TXT.
I agree.
So there's Huninkai and Tia. Unless you speak, there's 5 members within that group, and there's 3 ones that people knew by name until recently, and then the other 2. What is? Oh my! I think that's too. It's because we have this toxic, or not us, but K-pop stands in general have this toxic beauty standard in their head, so that they go to the stereotypical,
sure.
they gravitate towards the stereotypical, but still very beautiful and handsome. But members, and then if you don't fit that stereotypical Korean or beauty standard that they have in their perfect envisioned mind, talented members are put to the wayside. Because how you could just have, and TXT is not a big group, so it's a 5-member group and you could only recognize 3 members. Come on now, it's not hard. You have the whole of 17 and everybody could remember, but you have the whole of 17 and you could remember 13 names, but you can't remember 5. Come on. Take that toxic beauty standard and thing out of your head, please. You're coming here for music and talent.
I take some offense with Hyunkai because one, Hyunkai is my bias in TXT, but also
no offense to me, right?
no. To how underappreciated it is, because I don't choose my bias. My bias chooses me, and Hyunkai chose me immediately. So for somebody that I found some kind of relation with, he felt relatable and whatever it was. I don't know, that was a while ago. But for that to happen and then to find out that I could barely find content that
things are with him. Yeah.
it hurts as a stan, because he's talented, he's an amazing performer, and he has a beautiful voice.
Yeah.
Hi, Kitty.
It's just this toxic beauty standard thing that we have. Come on now. You could appreciate, even if he's not your standard, or he or she is not your standard of beauty, you could appreciate their talent. Learn their names. Put respect on their names, please.
Correct is right.
It's real hard to learn 13 members' names, 23
So
members'
5?
names. So I understand it being difficult to learn 5
taking
members'
this one
names.
personally.
However, it's not so hard to just learn names, even if you don't necessarily bias them. You don't need to bias a whole group. That's real hard. But you could learn a name.
It has a lot of
sure.
members within K-pop groups that are just they disappear within the grand scheme of things, and I don't generally find this fair. So this is not even this is a handful of the underappreciated members in groups.
A tiny handful.
As
Yeah.
we move on
A
to
baby
groups,
handful.
though,
Yes. Let's just.
can I start us off?
Yes. I just wanna, in case we don't get to touch on all of these in depth, I just wanna mention Kim's awesome list right now. She has Obtention, Pentagon, Gugudan, Priston, and Priston V. Pure
Yes.
Harmony.
But,
Extraordinary
yeah.
Heroes, exclamation point, exclamation point,
We
exclamation
knew it
point.
was coming. You
Extraordinary
knew it was
Heroes.
coming.
Yeah.
Extraordinary Heroes and Extraordinary Heroes.
Hold on,
The new
hold
six.
on. Let me read how she puts it. It was Extraordinary Heroes,
And Ace.
Yes.
Superior. What was he going to use?
Protagonists.
Superior protagonists and
ordinary villains.
ordinary
but
villains,
opposites.
but the opposites.
Yes.
Yeah.
And Ace. Right.
Yeah, but those
so
are
now
not
we can
Ace.
get
I
into-
wanted to touch
But
in.
those
I
are
wanted to touch on Ace.
Those are
Ordinary
general
villains.
but
okay,
opposites.
you're
But I wanted to start. Yes.
Yes. As we move on into groups, though, Listen, one of my alt groups we all know is God7, right? I bleed green, right?
Reach.
Now we all know that God7 came from a big three company, and they also have a big fandom. Sometimes I forget how big the fandom is because Agassi is a arguably very busy people. Like we have lives.
We're all adults. We're
Yeah,
all working adults.
That's the thing.
Just resurface.
That's the thing. Like we grew up with God7. Our fandom is relatively around the boys' age. We are in our 20s
Oh,
or
I
mid
thought you were talking about
20s.
the boys, as in the K-pop group. The boys.
No. We're
I was like,
relatively
what?
around their ages, right? So like we are adults, we have things to do. But when God7 comes out with stuff, you see us reappear on Twitter. You see the green, you see it all, right? We have a big fandom, but I feel like outside of our fandom, we God7 is still very underrated. I feel like a lot of people don't pay attention when they should be. Like
Is this a bias thing then? Because like outside the fandom.
no,
Not just a
no.
bias thing, but if you're looking at the amount of wins that they've gotten over the years of them being a group in comparison
The-
to other groups,
the quality of music, the quality of the performers themselves, the quality of the talent that they have,
I think,
underrated.
I'm not speaking for like everybody or whatever because like I was in K-pop when God7 debuted and stuff like that. God7 was a group that I biased. I think I still bias the group. I still stand the group actually. Like, but for me, it came to a point of promotion. I really blame
JYP,
for
correct?
yeah, for
because
sure.
because it
JYP is
came
on the
to
list.
exactly it came to
Yeah.
a thing with promotion because God7 started hot and sweaty. Like you couldn't go
Their
like
debut was amazing.
exactly, and then after a while, I think it's like after even 2 years, it just started to dwindle down.
Yeah.
That is JYP's fault.
This is controversial, but allegedly, I would like to see that JYP sabotages their own groups.
I think so too.
Right? I don't know if it started.
I think so too.
I don't know if it started when they started this division system where they have different divisions. Notably, God7 and ITZY were under the same division, Division 2, and you could see the lack of promotion there.
Yeah.
So it's at a company level, I would say, but I also say at the audience level, I feel like a lot of people don't pay enough mind to God7
Yeah.
because of the promotion, yes, but also I feel like during that third gen era, it had so many different boy groups coming out at the same time.
So it was very easy to get to lose God7 and lose promoting
No, but-
promoting their very few
And
promotions.
that means that going back to you always see this after, but going back to the episode that we previously just did, because I love God7, I would appreciate if God7 got the recognition that they deserve to get, even now that they're doing the individual work. But like, come on, JYP company managers and everything, this is highly your fault because
Yeah.
the fans, we will know what they're doing.
Yeah.
But in order to get other people to know what they're doing, you have to promote them. And if you're not
exactly.
promoting them, nobody going to like see and recognize them.
And
Yeah.
honestly, it should never
Yeah.
never be that you're relying on your, let's say you have 100 fans, on your 100 fans
To just do the work for you.
all the work for you.
Because
Yeah,
how that
that's
works.
just going to reach the fans. That's
Not-
just going to reach the other fans.
Not
That's
even
going to reach-
just that. Not even just that. But there are so many people, like we also had this conversation earlier on, very much outside of filming, about what our own following looks like.
It would be the same people, like Agassiz might have the same Agassiz on there.
Yeah.
So you know who you're really promoting to. You're
Exactly.
promoting to like-minded people,
Yeah,
So, like,
because
now you have to depend on the companies
yeah,
to promote in a way to reach a wider audience, and they're not doing that, and that really did sabotage God7.
I remember their last last album underneath JYP, Breath of Love Last Piece. I remember the God7 group page was not posting much, I remember every single day that a teaser dropped, the photos, the like the MV teasers, everything, the track list, everything.
It wasn't GOT7
Mark
official
religiously
page.
posted those stuff.
Yeah.
And he's the one who was getting the word out that they were having a comeback. The group account was basically doing nothing. It was like crickets.
If you look on the group
Because
account page now,
individual, I see more GOT7 posting on their individual
Yeah.
Instagram, and that's the thing too. Fans would be the one who following their individual,
Mm-hmm.
Randoms
Instagram
not following
page,
them.
Exactly.
Yeah.
So how you really expect them to get it out?
and I mean, I'm sure that there are new stands that are coming in who like hearing about GOT7 and they don't know who GOT7 is. Not because
Yeah.
GOT7 is particularly old, because I mean they only recently stopped being under JYP, but they don't know who they are. They know 3 GOT7 songs, and GOT7 has a lot more than 3 songs.
And I feel like they're missing out on so much too, because even their last album recently in 2022, GOT7, named GOT7, the album was GOT7. It was so underrated, but like it had no skips. Objectively, it had no skips. Like it was such a quality album. The music was done by the members itself, and that says a lot. So personally, as a Agassi, I would say that is one of their best albums. And notably, JY Park is the one who used to produce their JYP albums. So that says something.
Yeah.
Yeah.
There's one problem here, and it's not the GOT7 members.
I would just like to say
person.
that even though I agree
Yeah.
with
Speak loud. It's a big girl.
Loud and proud.
No other album has no skip.
Extraordinary Heroes,
Yep.
Troubleshooting.
Yep.
Yo,
Oh, no.
back to
Because I know Chris is going to bring up Extraordinary
true.
Heroes, but here's the thing. I believe that we should just, because all of us here became stands quickly, right?
I
believe
am
that we
still
should just-
initiating.
But you could appreciate,
computing.
right? But
Yeah.
I believe that we should just give them like a little more time, because they knew. They really
I
knew. So
know,
you can't really just
but-
so don't come and say they're underrated.
They
No,
are.
I think that they're
They
under promoted.
They're underpromoted.
'Cause I can
I
say
believe they're
that.
underpromoted. Because you could say that. Because you quickly like them. But they knew Chris.
I know that they're at a good place for where they are right now, but I know that I kind of trust JYP. So I need them
So you're stressing
to
the
get big,
audience.
like right now. It's
Like,
not...
because
Honestly,
they had Day6.
Yeah, I
Yeah.
was about to bring to
They
like,
did.
I don't
had
like
a good
Exactly.
like they had a good
Exactly.
presence
That is
in
true.
Korea when they debuted.
Exactly.
Everybody knows their songs.
no,
but
I would say 6. That group has done so much. They have quality content. They are amazing instrumentalists. And you know what? Nobody that doesn't follow Day6 knows that Day6 had a comeback earlier on this year. Nobody knows that all of their members have completed their military service. Nobody knows that they took a mental health hiatus for like almost 2 years, and then came back fresh. Nobody knows those things. But
and they're under a big 3 company. That says a lot.
yeah.
And then JYP, that says a lot.
You're so hating on JYP now.
Never. That's in my blood. That's in my soul. I will die by
The
the,
reason
fact
I say it is
I
because
don't care.
for
Because he talking about
let's
Jesus
move
now.
on to the group Ace.
One of the groups, and here's the thing with me, if I stop quote unquote standing a group, that says a lot, because I have a lot of space in my heart for everybody clearly within K-pop. So Ace is a group who started off hot and sweaty again, and then what happened to them?
I literally don't even know. I mean, part of it is my fault, but
And then the same thing that happened with
I wouldn't really say
CIX.
that they started off hot
That was
and
a group?
sweaty, because I think they got recognition in their like first year because of the concepts that they were doing. But people didn't really stick around because they were from a Nugu company. And then, well, afterwards, like after like their first, after 2018 is when the company got kind of sporadic with their comeback schedules. I would
What
say
company they from?
Beat Interactive.
I've
Okay.
never heard of that.
I've literally never heard of Beats Interactive with Ace.
I just know Ace. That's the thing.
I don't
They
know.
have more than one group, I know that.
I know Beats Interactive, but like I just know Ace, like from that. Yeah.
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 Yeah, they're doing a group
But-
on the Beat. Yeah.
Wow.
then this is coming on to another promotion, or how come, like, come on. And the changing of concepts thing and changing, like, come on.
Do better for your groups, man. Like I mean, if you're gonna put, if in my opinion, and just to like try and wrap up the discussion as well, in my opinion, if you're going to debut a group, put effort into making sure that you can actually push the music for the talent that you decided was worth investing in the first
Yes.
place.
Or maintain,
Yeah.
like, you at least know you can maintain the group. Like, don't start off a group when you know that in the long run you can't do anything for them anymore, or you don't have a budget for them.
Now I know sometimes
Come on.
it's because not all investments work out the way that you predict it will. That I understand that, like it makes sense.
But
I am
for
a
group-
business mind
but
as well.
for a group to
But
fall off after a year or after 2 years, that is kind of, that's basically like a group that come out from a competition. Like, you know, like when their contracts expire and stuff like that. If your contract not expiring, I don't think that after a
Right.
year you should be
Exactly.
falling off. That don't make sense, because you have to
Yes.
think that is not an investment.
I would say, like,
that's
at
like
least-
a poor investment.
I mean,
Yeah,
not
like
all of
3
these
years.
companies have great business practices to begin with, so they
Yeah.
don't start off knowing how to properly market or promote a group.
CIX, what company that was from?
C9 Entertainment on my list.
Exactly, because here's the thing too, and they have
I have
a
a
member. They have a member who came also from.
P. Jin Young.
Yes. So
Pei
if
Jin
you
Young.
have, and that's the thing, I don't understand it. Like, if you have,
And
if you
that
have a
group
face,
is so solid.
exactly, and if you
But
have somebody
C9
who coming out like from a recognized group in the first place, there's no reason that you couldn't profit off, not even profit, bounce off of or build from what you already had.
Exactly.
He gave you a solid fandom or a solid, like, come
That's
on.
like the same
What is
thing
wrong?
with
And they started off so good.
Exactly.
Oh
do
my
you
God.
think that's the same thing with like Ice One, right? They all went into different things, but they're all successful. The same thing could happen with CIX because Jin Young was one
Exactly.
of the
You had
the
a solid
popular
fan base already
members.
coming in. You
Yeah.
had eyes on the group in the first place.
A
You
lot of those
fumbled.
groups that
You
those
fumbled.
former
They
X1,
also, like-
sorry,
101?
Go ahead.
produce groups are now
Produce,
in,
yeah.
I would say.
Yeah.
I feel like for CIX they also like change the concept.
Attention.
I don't think. Yeah, attention.
I have so many words.
I
could do
don't
an
want to bring,
essay.
like, Chris and I used to be well talking about attention, and then all of a sudden
Pop media.
it deteriorated so
On the
quickly.
list.
Like, it was just like attention was there one day, and then the next day
Miss Chris's list.
there's nobody.
It's very long.
Mm.
At the top of though is Fantasia if you wanted to
Yeah.
know. If you wanted to know,
Yeah.
Fantasia is on top of the
I
list.
ride there with you. Just
Cube.
call me.
It's Fantasia on Cube, and then all these other.
We ride
one-
into one.
that I'm
So-
bringing up.
So, Pentagon, what did y'all do? Y'all had such a big. Y'all
Big
was
bean.
growing from it was Shine. It was Shine, right?
Yeah.
Yeah.
What did, although that had
How they fumble the bag so
I
bad?
don't know, from one controversy, like, after that you
They
just
peaked with Shine and they fumble the bag so bad they lose a
like,
member.
you just, but
And
even after they lose the member, it was like they lose the member and they lose the whole group. They had a whole other set of members.
I
Like,
am
what
almost
is wrong?
sure.
What is wrong?
I am
What
almost
is
sure
wrong?
that he wasn't even the face of the group before he left the group because of that
sure.
particular thing.
Yeah.
Exactly.
So how?
Exactly.
Like he was a popular member,
But he wasn't the face. Actually,
But they
in
just gave up
Pentagon,
afterwards.
Everybody
Cube, that
was
is.
kind of in
Cube
that
just
group.
gave up
Everybody was known.
afterwards.
I think, like, in like Pentagon, that they were one
They're
of
a
the groups,
solid
like,
group.
everybody was like
They have
really known and
weed,
stuff like that.
for God's sake.
So, like,
they just
why
don't
did they
know how
give
to
up on the
manage
group?
groups. They don't know how to promote them. Same thing with CLC.
Honestly speaking, like, what,
Same
I
thing with
think
B2B.
Cube, I think for Cube, all of their groups, because me personally, I don't follow. How do you pronounce their name?
Who?
G Idol.
Yeah, G Idol.
But I personally think that their promotions are absolute nonsense.
yeah,
They because I think they have good songs. I don't necessarily like all of their songs. It's not my taste, all of them. But they have good songs. They
and just like God Seven.
do anything. But what are y'all doing?
No, but just like God Seven.
To be
too,
honest, I
only
think
know
G Idol
G
have
Idol
a
coming back.
better experience than most groups.
And they still not having a good
But here's the thing
experience.
though, but
Under
like,
Q for sure. They're
On the
definitely
cube, yeah,
best
but I feel like they're
performing
still
group
being
on the Cube.
promoted.
no, but the thing
though.
though, I
the
know
What?
G-Idol promotion more from their individual
Exactly.
Instagram than their group Instagram.
Yeah, because Cube doesn't do
The group,
anything.
You're sure because they're on a
Yes.
lot of Korean variety stuff.
Right,
They
and
have
it's
their
all
group
promoted
comebacks.
on their individual. Like you could see them
Giada does a lot
promoting
of their own
yeah.
promotions and stuff like
producing
that.
and
Yeah,
ideas,
yeah.
concepts come from them.
The group,
Anything that Cube has to do,
it's literally just spending money, and even then, I feel like there's be chinks on it because I feel like their music videos could be better.
What?
Same.
I don't know. I feel like they have a good thing going. I'm not a
I would say
fan,
so. Yes.
but
I
think
it's just Cube is not.
Like,
I think that
Cube-
G-Idol
I don't
is
think
getting the
Cube
best
is
out
doing
of
it
them.
For them. I think G-Idol
like
is
even as a non-fan.
I think
Right.
G-Idol is
What she's saying.
doing what they need to do
Gia
for
is doing
G-Idol.
it for them,
Cube
but
is
Cube,
not doing nothing.
if it was all
That's what I
reliant
mean.
on Cube,
I think they would have fumbled if it was like them relying on Cube.
I think that
I
if
think
G-Idol
G-Idol
leaves Cube right now, they would not lose a single thing because they are doing everything for
Yeah.
themselves
I
already.
think,
Yeah.
I think G-Idol knows that. I think like they were smart with it. So like I think from the first year they would have been depending on Cube, and like they knew
Because I was there.
after.
Because
No, but
Soyeon
I mean-
made the debut
Yes,
song and
but what I
everything.
mean is,
Like,
from then she made the debut song and stuff like that, but they were still depending on Cube because their promotions and stuff like that was from Cube, not from their individual Instagram accounts.
They would never be able to do it
I think
by themselves.
they realized
Yeah.
quickly for themselves that Cube would not have gotten them far, and they took that on to themselves and decided, you know what, I'm gonna do my own promotions. We're gonna be more involved in our music than we ever were in the beginning. Like, you see how when the Pentagon had this scandal thing, and then their group was broke up. They lost. Giada lost a member too, but that did not stop their momentum. You know, so it could be
if I could
done.
underline what you
Exactly.
just said.
They lost a member just as
You
the
hit
way
it there.
Pentagon
You
lost
hit
a
it there.
member, but their momentum was not stagnant. They didn't stop. They didn't fall off.
Mhm.
They continued pushing, and I think that is
That makes
because
me more
it was
sad
on
now.
G-Idol. It was not on Cube. Like if they depended on Cube for that, that would have been a
And then
lost
Cube put me
cause.
in this survival program, and now what they're doing? What are they doing? What?
that literally made no
Please
sense.
explain to
Honestly
me.
speaking,
He
I don't know
is
if
on a different level from Trini's.
Exactly.
How
So
he
why
end
would
up
they put him in
there,
that
I would
And like,
never
if you put them,
understand.
if you put them there for
that's
promotion,
so disrespectful. Actually,
And he didn't even make
to
the
get
final
out
lineup.
word about the group. But what are you doing now?
that was disrespectful to him.
And he didn't
What
even
What are
make
you
it.
doing now?
How many times has we debuted at this point?
And then what's the thing though? If I was in business, right, from the time because they had a
getting
shine.
too much
Been
into
forward to
Yeah,
the one.
No, but they
Yeah.
were in Shine, right? Yeah, they were making it big with Shine, and then they had this controversy. If I was like being the person to promote and stuff like that, and for the manager, I would have been like, all right, we have this problem. We're going to take this problem and make this problem our solution, because they had eyes on them, even more eyes on them.
Even more
I was
eyes.
going to put out a big song and be like, okay, Olela, we take the eyes that we have now and
Yes.
promote it even
But
more.
what did we
Oh my God.
What did we get after Shine? Naughty
Nothing.
boy.
I wasn't gonna say it, but you just said it. I wasn't gonna say it. But
No, Cube, no, that was not the move.
Frogs be the concert.
I feel stressed.
Rain cool. Let's
I completely forget it.
Let's rain.
no, because I was literally not gonna bring it up because I was.
Let's rain it
Yeah,
in.
but literally.
Heart wrenching.
Literally.
That cancelled out of my mind. Why did you bring that back up?
Music video.
You know what
like,
I've done so well after Shine? Dr. Baby.
But then, and
Dr.
then
Baby is actually on my list of honest albums. So you're gonna talk
Yes.
about that. We're gonna have to do another episode on.
Yeah,
But
Yeah.
that album is Pentagon's best album. First up.
But as
We
we
don't
came
know
to that
about
point, let's wrap it up. And
Yeah,
we
but-
shall
Yes.
we shall meet you all in the next episodes talking
Any
about
other groups you just wanted to like glaze over?
I don't
P1
like
Harmony.
companies.
P1
P1 Harmony. We'll catch up on that
They're
in
getting
the
up
next
there
episode.
though, yes.
Yeah.
Let me just see if I had anything else I really wanted to say.
You know,
Y'all don't come for us
I'm
because
going
we
to
didn't
make a
mention a lot of
burnt
girl
list.
groups, right? We are primarily boy
Oh
groups.
yeah,
Sons.
sorry about that.
Yeah.
And it's not that we don't see that girl groups
Yeah,
are getting looked
okay.
over as well. It's just that
This is our
In
brand.
our
This is
sphere.
who we. This is
this
who
is
we
this
pay
is our
attention to.
perfume.
You know,
We're
Yeah.
not really seeing
Yeah.
we don't see all
Yeah.
of the others. And I mean, when we do see it, of course we mention it.
Yeah.
But for the majority,
And I don't think
Also,
it's fair if
we're
we talk
getting
about
really
it and
like
we don't know
into
about
the
it.
ones that we're passionate
Like, if
about,
we don't
and
know
so
about it.
forgetting other ones. But you know,
Yeah.
because we're human, it
Yeah.
happens.
we're biased still.
But yeah.
We're biased.
We're biased.
Anyway, thank you for watching episode 12
I'm
of
so
Chaotic
mad.
Vibes.
That's making me upset.
So we will see you guys next time in the chaos.
Bye.
Bye.